have the honor to speak to people in a variety of industries here on the show, but perhaps the one that we have more than anybody is residential real estate, for the simple fact every day is a new day. Let's face it, things are always changing in the real estate market. You need a professional who is out there with your best interests at heart, and we just happen to have one right here in the studio with us today. Her name is Rhonda Reddic. She's with Remax and Associates, the Reddic Realty Group. Rhonda, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much.
So good to see you. I appreciate you popping. I love having realtors in here because it doesn't matter if I talked to a realtor last week, there's probably been some changes since last week that we need to know about. But
absolutely.
I want to back up just a little bit because I think your story is rather unique in how you got into realty. So prior to your real estate career, what were you up to?
Well, I was working for a Fortune 500 company. I was a technical consultant, and I was on a team to where we worked with the network engineers, and we did their data services.
Mm-hmm.
So we did lots of stuff with the internet and calling, massive T1 and T3s, what we call them turnups. So a little bit different than real estate.
A little bit different, but I appreciate you sharing that, by the way. But at some point, you had an epiphany of sorts.
I did.
Talk about the transition between that to this.
I did. Well, we were wandering into new builds and picked out our house, but we didn't have a real estate agent. And so we also, consequently, we were put on a bad financing loan for us. And so it ended up being kind of a whirlwind. And I guess the epiphany was that I needed to be represented. You always should have representation.
Absolutely.
So, gosh, years later, a lot of financial strife because of that decision that we had made. Getting out of that, and I'm thinking, I need to be in real estate so I can warn other people and help other people and educate people and help them along the way not to make the decision that I made.
You know, let me stop you for a sec. Obviously, we interview a lot of people out there in that very share. Even if it's not real estate, they have similar stories in that something happened to them in their life. They were able to get through it, but they realized, you know what? There may be other people who are going through the same thing. Pretty much the story with you, and not just you and your husband.
Absolutely.
It's a husband and wife team.
It is.
How's that working out?
My
Because you've got a lot of things to balance.
We're still together.
Okay,
so,
well, that's a good thing.
That's a step in the right direction. Russell, my husband, he joined me about 5 years ago, and people ask me all the time, how do you work together?
Sure.
And we do. It's a great, I don't know, it's a great compromise for us.
A great compromise, and the fact that you get to work together. I mean, but is there a cutoff, or do you say, okay, once we get home for 30 minutes we can talk about it, but then we're husband and wife?
We tried that.
Try that?
We really did try that. We thought, okay, after 5, 6 o'clock we can't. But a lot of times it's just our banter.
Sure.
And so we make it work. I know we're 5 years in, so I mean, we're still pretty good.
Something's working.
Yeah, something's working.
Well, and I got to say, with the 5 years is a big number, by the way. Congratulations on that. But a bigger number is 2020 and what went on that year. So talk to me a little bit, because you were in business prior to the pandemic. Is it fair to say that maybe you did some things before the pandemic that you don't do now and you had to switch things around?
Absolutely. So I've been doing this going on 16 years.
Oh, okay.
And so things have totally changed. 2020 was the year that it was just so different, and we didn't know what we're going to do. We were thinking, how is real estate going to work? And so what we started doing is a lot of virtual tours and virtual buyer consultations, and everything was virtual. We sold many houses just via virtual tours. And so we also did virtual closings a lot of times. And so, of course, we have to mask up, and we had to make sure that, everything was sanitized. It was just one for the ages.
It's a different ball game, and also to compound things in a good way, is right in the middle of all that stuff, the interest rates plummeted, people are moving in. I mean, inventory is non-existent.
Yeah.
Back to the balancing act. There was a lot of moving targets there, but somehow you persevered.
Yes, definitely. 2020 actually was our biggest year in selling real estate. And I mean, incredibly, it was. But now it's settling in a little bit, and we're still doing that balancing act still, because like you said, the inventory is so tight, and then we're getting these multiple offer situations and overbidding and appraisal issues, and The list goes on.
You know, I'm curious then, is there a little bit of a hybrid in that with people moving in here, North Texas area, which is where you work, from out of state, everybody's comfortable with Zoom now. And so maybe you're able to reach buyers on other parts of the country virtually before you ever meet them in person, something you couldn't have done 16 years ago when you were just starting.
Absolutely. I've met so many people, so many of our buyers, so many of our clients that way. They reach out to us, and then especially 2020 kind of marked that, you know. So we've sold houses from people that we've not even met in person yet. And so we meet them maybe at closing.
Well, tell me this. This is one of my favorite questions to ask realtors. Talk to me about how cool it is on your end when you're helping that couple with their first home buying experience. Is that as fun as it sounds like it'd be?
It's one of my favorite things. It really, really is. I mean, just to see I don't know, they just fall in love with the home. But not only that, for us, it's essential that they understand that it's an investment as well, and that we want it to be a financial gain for them and an investment long term. So not only is it going to be, you know, their home, but it's also going to be an asset for them.
Right, and to take care of it. And then it goes back to your story and how you got into it in the first place. You're there to treat people like people, not like a number.
Absolutely.
Is that, am I minimizing it too much, or is that pretty much the baseline?
No, that's our thing. That's our thing. We want our clients to become family, and because of that, we do a client appreciation yearly, and so it's like a reunion. So all of our clients get to reunite and meet. This last time we had karaoke and dinner and dancing. It was really great.
Do you have similar functions with other realtors? Because I know realtors need to know each other, because it takes a buyer and a seller to make the transaction work. You need to have friends across the industry.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, we have lots of mixers. Realtors and mixers go together.
Well, tell me about the RE/MAX side of things, because you could go a lot of different directions. Any plugs for RE/MAX there?
Oh, RE/MAX is amazing. My broker, Jody Couts, is amazing. RE/MAX Associates, Arlington and Mansfield, and so it's just such a brand. It's recognizable all over the world, and so we're able to help people all over the world. And so we have a network, an internal network, that we can reach out to other RE/MAX realtors. Say you're looking somewhere in Europe, I can help you. I can help you find an
And
agent.
I can't imagine, I mean, you couldn't do the math, but can you imagine the number of combined years of experience that you have access to?
Oh my gosh.
Somebody's heard that question before, and you've got a whole book of people to help you if needed.
Absolutely.
And you can help them too. Let's don't negate that.
Yes.
Well, help me out with something. If someone's looking today, they moved to town, they're looking to get a house, and they want to find a realtor, what's someone the consumer should ask a realtor to find out if this is the direction I want to go?
Well, let's see here. As far as someone that's looking for...
Yeah, if someone's looking to buy a home here in Arlington, they just got here and said, man, I need to hire a realtor. Where should I go? Are you the realtor I want?
Oh, absolutely. Check out the testimonials, and we have references, and let me talk to you and interview me. I welcome you to
Well, and you
me.
certainly know the area too.
Absolutely.
I mean, not just the area, the neighborhoods.
Yeah, that's one thing, is market knowledge.
Right.
I think that is super important, and we're always doing our part in ensuring that we are knowledgeable with the market, and the experience speaks for itself.
Well, and again, that goes back to the baseline we discussed earlier. You're there to treat people. It's not just, oh, cool, another sale. No. It's another person.
It's people.
And they're not looking for a house. They're looking for a home.
That's exactly right. This life is about relationships, and that's paramount to us.
Well, and with the same lines from the business standpoint, for those relationships, I would have to think you get more than a few referrals.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody says, you don't need to look any further, I got you covered.
That's right. That really is the bulk of our business is referral base.
Well, I can certainly understand why you're a delight, but more importantly than that, you're very knowledgeable. You know your stuff. You've got the experience. You've got a great partner with your husband working together. I can understand why you're so successful at what you do. So thanks for coming in today. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey folks, thank you for being here as always. Don't run off. We'll be right back.